When it comes to the topic of Christianity, there are a lot of questions that people tend to ask. One of the most intriguing questions is whether Satan believes that God is all-powerful and all-knowing. This is a question that has puzzled many for centuries, and it's not hard to see why. After all, if Satan is a fallen angel who once served God, then it stands to reason that he would have some knowledge of God's true nature. But does he really believe that God is all-powerful and all-knowing? To answer this question, we first need to understand who Satan is and what his motivations are. According to Christian theology, Satan was once a powerful angel who rebelled against God and was cast out of heaven. He is often described as the embodiment of evil, and his goal is to tempt humans into sin and turn them away from God. So, does he believe that God is all-powerful and all-knowing? The answer is complicated. On the one hand, Satan certainly understands that God is incredibly powerful. After all, he was once an angel in God's presence and witnessed firsthand the wonders of God's creation. He knows that God has the power to do anything he wishes, and he has experienced the consequences of challenging that power. However, Satan's rebellion against God suggests that he may not fully believe in God's omniscience. If he truly believed that God was all-knowing, he would know that his rebellion was futile and that he could never succeed in overthrowing God. This suggests that Satan believes that he has some chance of defeating God, or at least of corrupting enough of God's creation to make a difference. Another factor to consider is Satan's own pride and arrogance. He may simply refuse to acknowledge God's power and authority, regardless of how much evidence there is to support it. In other words, Satan's beliefs may be shaped more by his own desires and ego than by any objective reality. Ultimately, the question of whether Satan believes in God's omnipotence and omniscience is one that we may never fully answer. However, it is clear that Satan's actions suggest that he does not fully accept God's power and authority. Whether this is due to his own arrogance, a belief in his own abilities, or a lack of faith in God's knowledge and power, it is clear that Satan remains a figure of darkness and rebellion, in opposition to the light of God's love and grace.